All right, it is on the clock. Let's start. Good afternoon or good day to you all. My name is Gora Goradara. I'm your session moderator for today. And we will go through the four excellent papers which are queued up. First up is Aditya Parameshwaram. And so Aditya, you will be speaking, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so we'll have 12 minutes of the presentation and 3 minutes of Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, we'll move to the next speaker. So for the first session, we have paper number 1570846521, generating trust using product genome mapping, a cure for ESG communication. And with that, the speaker is Aditya Anand Parameshwaram. And let me go ahead and play. Before that, do you want to introduce yourself and Professor also? Feel free to do that.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Aditya. I am a current master's student at the University of Texas at Dallas, pursuing my supply chain management. I have a background in logistics as a logistics manager back in India. I also do have a startup of mine back in India where we focus basically on web development and digital marketing. Right now, my concentration is on operations management and logistics management. And
thank you.
Along with
Hey, my name is Ramesh Subramaniam. I'm a clinical associate professor here at the University of Texas at Dallas. I'm really excited about this project, which we partnered with Copperwire Systems, which is a blockchain startup in California. And so Aditya worked during the summertime to analyze the results, and we got some interesting insights from this article. So we're looking forward to expanding this research going forward. Thank you.
Great. So let me go ahead and play the session for you all now. Did you hear him? Did you hear the audio?
Yes.
All right. And if you don't, let me know. I'll play it again.
The audio is not.
The audio is not audible. We can't hear the audio.
Okay, hang on. Let's do it again.
Good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome. Today's topic is on generating trust using product genome mapping, a cure for ESG communication. First, a brief introduction about myself. My name is Aditya Parameshwaran, and I am a student pursuing my master's in supply chain management at the University of Texas at Dallas, the Jindal School of Management. This joint project has been formed together by the University of Texas at Dallas and Copperwire Systems. A brief introduction about Copperwire Systems. They are an organization that encompasses trust using blockchain technology, and they are based out of Silicon Valley in California. Coming to the next slide is our problem statement. We all know that post-pandemic, supply chain industry has been rattled with the supply and demand. Every company is finding it very difficult to manage the supply and demand for consumers. Along with that, various governments around the globe have been enforcing a lot of laws. For example, the CBP Uyghur Forced Labor Law that the US government has introduced, which places a ban from products from China. Because of this, investors and consumers are demanding a visibility into the supply chain to see from where their products are being procured and what are they getting in hand. Coming to the next slide is shows the brands that are showing connection with the Xinjiang region. This region is famously known for enforcing forced labor laws where products have been manufactured for various companies around the world. As we can see here, Apple, the most valuable company in the world, is amongst one of them. And other companies that are known to everybody in the 21st century is included here. The next slide is product genome mapping. In layman's term, everybody knows what is genome mapping. It's basically when a biology deconstructs a human genome to find its root cause. Similarly, product genome mapping is where supply chain individuals deconstruct the product from its origin to the time it reaches the consumers. Along with that, post-pandemic, there are a lot of trends that have been and here are the top 3 trends that are there. First is resilience and agility. Resilience is the ability for a company to bounce back after its fall. It increases agility reflects on how quick a company can reflect with to meet consumers' demand. Visibility. More than 90% of the supply chain executives believe that visibility is really important in encompassing trust within its consumers, and hence visibility plays a very important role. Digital supply chains. Digital supply chains is where everything has been recorded from the stage the product is procured till it reaches its destination. This can be done by various methods. The first is IoT, AI, ML, and blockchain technology. But right now we are focusing on blockchain technology because that is the only place where trust can be encompassed, as it is immutable. We will discuss it in the further slides. The next slide is based on localization, agility, and digitalization, LAD. Localization is simply where a company places its manufacturing process so that it can procure products easily. An added benefit to this is that transportation cost is reduced, as well as it helps in a company to increase its ESG scores where greenhouse scope 3 gases are concerned. Agility, as discussed earlier, is the strategy of meeting a consumer's need while competing rapidly in today's world. Digitalization is a process of converting analog information into digital information. Digitization is the base for digitalization. The next slide is based on our research. This current presentation is basically encompasses 3 papers. The first is importance of LED as a framework for supply chain resiliency. The next is impact of blockchain technology by Mr. Santosh Nandi. And the third is our research with my professor, Mr. Ramesh Subramaniam. Our research basically took Mr. Santosh Nandi's paper where he took a set of 24 companies and analyzed its ESG metrics. From those 24 companies, I took the top 10 companies from the S&P Global. And from that, we came to know about the ESG scores and how their ESG scores reflect with their LED ratings. Coming to the next slide is the metrics compared with the LED rankings. As per our observation, any company with an ESG score above 50 has been termed as a very high LED score ranking. It was very difficult for us to determine companies that are below 50, whether should we place them in high or moderate. But as we can see here, majority of the companies, Toyota, Caterpillar, and so on, their ESG scores are correlated with their LED rankings. The next slide is circular economy and its impact on ESG. Circular economy, as opposed to linear economy, is a process where there is zero waste at every stage of manufacturing, be it from procuring raw materials to the end of the life of a particular product. Let me give you an example. Suppose if we want to procure copper, instead of mining it, it is the best alternative is to procure it from already materials available in the locality. There are 3 principles of circular economy: reduce, recycle, and reuse. By applying these 3 principles, circular economy mainly focuses on the environment first, keeping in mind the social and governance aspect too. Coming to the next slide, here I want to stress on a few companies, that is Philips and Caterpillar. Caterpillar, as seen in the previous slides, has a very high ESG and LED scores, and it can be clearly seen here that in 2019, Caterpillar offers more than 7,600 remanufactured products. And the last statement is, I want to stress on the last statement, that by laying the foundation of a better growth, circular economy plays a very important role in today's ESG market, where greenhouse gases can be reduced 55% globally. The next slide is how circular economy principles enhances ESG. Based on the 3 principles that I discussed earlier, we can see that by designing out waste production, keeping materials in use, regenerating natural systems can affect ESG in various matters. Hence, circular economy plays a very important role in ESG. What makes blockchain technology useful? We all know that blockchain is upcoming. And the most useful technology, as stated here, it can be more collaborative, it can be more transparent, more secure, and more accurate. By being more collaborative, I mean to say that parties can collaborate virtually on a network without having any trust issues. Blockchain as a technology solution for ESG. Using blockchain, companies are able to put all their information onto the blockchain for neutral nodes to verify. Walmart, along with IBM, ran 2 proof concepts in this year. One focused on the mangoes that are being sold in Walmart stores in the US, while the other was focused on the pork that had been procured in China. In the US, it typically took approximately 7 days to trace down its origin. But by using blockchain technology, the time reduced to just 2.2 seconds. That's a drastically reduced time. Next is the blockchain solution implementation plan. We all know that the upper management plays a very important role in today's society, and the same goes for implementing blockchain solution. The blockchain solution should be implemented by senior management level in a company, and that person should have a mentality to include every person in the company, be it from top management to the bottom management. And he should have a deploying budget in mind too. He should also have a mentality where collaboration along with suppliers and other departments is essential. Blockchain and trust. The main point for this presentation is to prove that blockchain really encompasses trust for companies and its consumers. By that I mean that since everything is being put online, and since blockchain is a decentralized ledger, neutral nodes play a very important role. It's not centralized. Hence, blockchain can encompass trust for companies and its consumers. Coming to the next slide is blockchain-driven framework. Right now there are 2 phases. Phase 1 is where there are belief-driven consumers and along with the belief-driven companies. And along with that, we need government regulations with us. Companies do support environment, social and causes, and companies right now do report their ESG scores. But that is just phase 1. In phase 2, companies should track their products using blockchain, and they should make it publicly available for the consumers to encompass trust within them. By this, I mean that the company can have a larger consumer base, and the operation income is even larger. Now we come to our conclusion. Our research that I and my professor did, from there we concluded that ESG metrics and LED scores correlate. And this says a very important thing. Companies do rank themselves according to the ESG scores. Blockchain, along with the smart contracts, provides solutions to this, and this can also encompass trust within the company and its consumers. For our future research, we can deep dive within a particular industry, be it automobile, retail, or any other industry. Along with that, we can also see how the laws that have been placed by the government are affecting the supply chain industry in today's world. We can also see whether how governments can play a very important role in helping companies improve their ESG metrics and their LED scores by providing incentives. And last but not the least, it is a duty of the company to implement blockchain in order to encompass trust within its consumers. Thank you, and that concludes my presentation.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. So while folks get ready, type your question on the chat. If you want to ask, raise your hand and we can go ahead and acknowledge you. So let me get you off on a couple of questions. One is, what I didn't see, or maybe it's really in phase 2, is the interaction with the consumer. Because consumers are now becoming more aware and they want to vote by their purse. And so where is that touch point in your ecosystem?
You want me to answer that? So when we were working on consumer, one of the things we noticed in today's consumer is that it is belief-driven consumer. I mean, they have certain beliefs. Of course, in a university environment, we see that more than any other place. Typically in class, they ask the question, how many of you want to drive a car? And how many of you can get these answers on how the consumer trends have changed? And definitely people want to work for companies which are, it's a microcosm. We can take it as that. We've seen some research papers that has been already been published, which we mentioned in our paper as well, on how the market trends has been changing. And that is one area where the consumers are going to demand and pull it rather than a push. So the pull is going to come from the consumer. And so the sustainability and the $300 billion of investment that has gone from the government and all that from climate change is all good. But I was just telling Aditya just before this presentation that even administration changes are not going to have a huge impact because the pull is going to come from the consumer. So
one more thing that companies can do is that they can encompass a barcode within their products where they can make it clearly visible that if you want to verify where your product is coming from, you can definitely scan this barcode and everything can be traceable through that. That can also be an initiative. And other thing what companies can do is in their mobile app system, whenever they want to promote anything sustainable, instead of putting in the bottom, they should put it at right top so that people know that yes, this company is taking sustainable actions in order to make the environment much more safer. That can be other this thing what companies can do in order to promote, to show that yes, they are taking steps and also they are environmentally cautious about their actions, what they are doing.
Are there any questions from the floor? If not, I'll ask a follow-up question, especially for an end product, single product, which doesn't have multiple components. Like for example, I'm buying a banana. So I want to know where the banana is coming from and whether you're not hearing me? Are others hearing me? Somebody else can put in the chat, yes, no. Yeah, okay, they can hear it. So maybe something happened at your end. You don't hear me at all. All right. So I think you. All right. So I think looks like okay. Others are hearing, except you all are hearing me. So we'll go ahead and end your session. So let's thank Professor and Aditya for especially for Aditya for making the presentation, and thank you very much. Yeah, your audio got messed up. All right, great. And our next, and you can let me make sure I get you off the screen. All right. The next speaker is Reza. You are.
Yeah. Hi.
Make you, just a second. Let me just make sure I have you as you are already co-host right now, and then just a second. There you go. Just a second. All right. So we are now moving on to the next paper, which is paper number 15708-45435. Sharding and its impact on fork portability. Now, before you begin, Reza, let me just quickly do something.